Hey, Muggs, you ready?
Hold on, let me take another hit of my vape.
Oh.
Okay, now I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah. Who wants to get janky? It's Janky Town. We're getting janky. It's Janky Town. Time to get janky. It's Janky Town. We're getting janky. It's Janky Town. It's time to jank around. Dave, beer mug, and all our janky janksters. It's Janky Town. It's getting janky. On Janky Town. Jank, jank, janky. On Janky Town. Yeah. I just sharted.
Now, Dave, I have a question.
Yeah, what's that, Muggs?
So, I see what you did there. We kind of just went right into the intro, which is good, right?
Yeah,
but I think we should do a little bit of pre-talk before we hit the intro, like good old times, right?
The good old times? Yeah, I thought we'd just change it up, man. I mean, I don't know. I kind of like starting off with a little bang, right? Rather than us just jibber-jabbering about nothing, you know. Prior, you know.
But jibber-jabber is fun.
Yes, jibber-jabbering is fun, but I like to get the theme out of the way so people know who they're listening to. It's Janky Town. We don't clown around.
I think people already know who they're kind of listening to. They know that I'm me and you're you, Beer Mug and Dave. Mm-hmm. And I think, I think we still got to work into the intro a little bit. I like that process. I think it feels too rushed if you play it right off the bat. It just that's just me. I think it's comforting to our janksters and me, more importantly, that we just we lead into it, right?
Okay. I think that sounds like
okay.
Cool because I'm all
okay.
I'm all for the intro first.
Right.
And you're for jibber jabber. So
right.
I think we'll leave it to the janksters. I'll put up some polls and polls. And then we'll see.
Are these polls binding?
Well, I mean, granted that I'm 50% and you're 50%, and we're split right now, so we need a tiebreaker, right? So yeah. I mean, I will abide by whatever the janksters say. So if the janksters want to hear us do some jibber jabber before the intro, then I'll be up for that. But if they like the strong start and get them pumped for us, because normally what I would hope is that right after I just sharded, that's when you come in, hey, it's Beer Mug and Dave, and here we are, Janky Town episode, whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I would do that. I would do that, but after a nice dipping your toe in before we even get to that point. Yeah, if we do it your way, I just think it feels a little rushed.
I think it gets the business out of the way, and then we could have fun, and it doesn't like. I think that by doing it in the jibber jabbering first, and then we're having fun, and then we stop for the intro, and then do the business, and then start again. So I'd rather continue the party all episode long. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't agree, and I don't know what you're saying. So that being said, I think that right there was a good amount of jibber jabber. So I think technically, to make me happy, you could hit the intro now, Dave.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, who wants to get janky? It's Janky Town. We're getting janky. It's Janky Town. Time to get janky. It's Janky Town. We're getting janky. It's Janky Town. It's time to jank around. Dave, Beer Mug, and all our janky janksters. It's Janky Town. It's getting janky. On Janky Town. Jank, jank, janky. On Janky Town. Yeah. I just sharded.
Yes, welcome to episode... See, that feels so much better. Welcome to episode 71. I am Beer Mug. Right beside me is our main man, Dave, the King of Mexico.
Yo,
and you guys, of course, wouldn't be possible without you Jankstas. You can get a hold of us on the Jank line at 855-JANKY69. We have a Twitter. We have an Instagram, which Dave does a very good job at JankyTown69.
Do I?
You're going to say?
Twitter,
Yeah,
Twitter,
I think you do, Dave.
Twitter, maybe. Like, Twitter's like a little more active. But Instagram, boy, that is dead. Like, man.
Is it really?
I don't want it to be dead, but it's like deader than dead, dude. Like I post from time to time, like one thing at a time. There's no consistency, right? Like there's no pictures of us. There's nothing. There's no pictures of nothing we talk about. It's just like, oh, cool. We do have an Instagram though, and it's at JankyTown69. Yeah. But it's Mugs. We got to do a better job of that. Remember how we used to give you shit for not responding to people?
Right.
Yeah. Like I need to give myself shit and for not doing it, and
by the way,
we'll get to that.
I am we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I'm clean out on all my messages. I have responded to everybody who's responded to me.
Fantastic.
Even new people that are trying to get a hold of me. Speaking of getting a hold of, I've told you all the places you can find us. Also at jankytown69@gmail.com. You can email us. We are a free podcast. For many of those who listen for free, you're welcome. We also have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/jankytown. Our tiers start as low as $2. That's the Muggos tier. That's the lowest one. And we have a $5 one, which is the next one up. And that gives you a little bit more on the Patreon level. It gives you access to a little bit more exclusivity, as they say. And then the $25 level that's just out of hand. You pretty much can come close, in close contact with us without a mask. I mean, it's insane. It's insane what you get with the $25 tier. Am I right, Dave?
Yeah. I mean, for instance, next episode, we're going to have someone, a Janksta, a $25 tier Janksta co-host with us. And that's one of the perks is, you get a chance to co-host with us in Jankytown and be our third co-host, man. So I think that'll be fun because you're also included in the planning. You bring in your own stories, you have ideas that you want to pitch to us? Let's go. Let's do this. Yeah. Like let's have some fun. Let's do it all. And it's all at Patreon. So you can check it out at patreon.com/jankytown.
That's right. As the guy in the intro says, it's Dave, Beer Mug, and all the janky Jankstas.
Mugs.
That's why we need you.
Mugs, lot of positive feedback on the Hot Sauce Tim /Beer Mug intro.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah. Got a lot of it's a good way to jolt. It's a good jolt, to, into the system. Like it gets people ready to listen to us jibber jabber. But I still want the What Up Mugs and What Up Dave version.
The 50-cent one, yeah.
Yeah. I still want that one. So what's the update on that, man?
Well, okay, so we did the Tim intro last week. We debuted it, and this is our second time playing it. It's funny because Tim heard it as the episode was released, and he was live messaging me, and he says it's awesome, but he wants to remix it, and so I'm gonna send him. I still have to send him just the raw vocals because he's gonna remix it on his end because a true producer mixes the vocals and the music within the same sort of machinery. It's very technical what I'm talking about right now. I mean, I did it on my own. I essentially took the track and mixed it on my own processor and everything with my vocals. But Tim wants to take it to the Tim lab, sprinkle some hot sauce on it, and he's gonna make it that much better. So maybe this week I'll send him that. And then for episode 72, which will be next week, we'll bring back the 50-cent Jankytown intro. How's that?
Until it gets the liquid cartoon remix, right? Or just mix, I guess.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah, I like that. So, Dave, we start out each episode kind of by going over our week. Well, anything happen in our personal lives that we could share with our Jankstas that would maybe inspire them or be a good warning to how not to live your life?
Yeah. Well,
How was your week?
I guess I'll let you. I'll tell you. It was another busy week of work, right? And getting out of my COVID isolation, I thought I started feeling like I lost a couple of lbs, right? Like I felt like I lost weight because I just sat there drinking, greens and fluids and a lot of water and not really eating, and especially not eating bad stuff because I was just stuck in my room. And so for all of last week, though, I felt great. And then it got to the weekend and I just decided, you know what? I miss things. I'm just going to eat everything. I went to Shake Shack. I had me some truffle double burgers with truffle fries. Ooh. Have you had that? Oh my God, it was so good, dude.
I've never had the truffle fries at Shake Shack. It's actual truffle. I mean, it's actual.
Oh yeah,
truffle's very rich. If I'm not mistaken.
Dude, add that with the double truffle burger. It's a lot of truffle in your mouth. But it has the cheese on top. Oh, so good, dude. That's that. Ice cream, just shoving ice cream down my throat, and now I'm feeling fat again, dude. Of course, when
just from that one meal,
just from the weekend of meals. I had pizza, I had everything. I was gorging, man. I was going for it. I was like, oh, I miss this, I enjoy this, yum. But now I'm feeling fat again, man, and I want to work out. Like I haven't worked out since the beginning of the year. When we're recording this, it's the 21st of January. I have not worked out once. I have not sweat, nothing Good physical, just a blob there, being a sick blob. And I need to do something. And I thought I would throw it out to you, right? Like Muggs.
Okay.
So I know this guy who does personal boxing lessons, and it's not like boxing lessons like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to box and fight somebody. It's a workout boxing class, essentially.
Sweet. Right? We'll go fight Logan and Jake Paul when we go to this guy, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't think. Listen, I'm confident in my hands, but they're pretty hefty dudes, and I don't think I'll last very long because my conditioning is terrible. But I was thinking, like, Muggs, if I get this guy, would you come and work out with me?
Where is it? How far?
It'll be at my house. It'll be at my house.
Okay, so I probably would be interested in coming to about 1, 2, or 2, and then I'd get over the drive, and then I'd just probably not come anymore. But I do like boxing as a workout. It's a very, very good one.
I know, but isn't it fun?
I might consider it, Dave.
Like think about how much fun we could have and the content we could get of you and I being these little tubby dudes just boxing and hitting mitts and pads and stuff like that. And he has all the equipment. So
speak for yourself. I'm a big tubby dude, by the way.
We're okay. I guess both of us are big tubby dudes. Yeah. But I think that would be fun and that would be motivating for me. And wouldn't you want to help me out? Wouldn't you want to help your pal Dave out? Like, come and work out with me and be motivated. That's not the normal Apple workouts or Peloton workouts where you're doing hit exercises. I want to be active and do stuff like that. And if I had a partner that would come and work out with me, I think we could both benefit from that. We both get motivated. And you know what? It wouldn't always have to be at my place. We could go to your place, or we could go to a mutual a park halfway and do it in front of everybody.
I will loosely consider it, Dave. I'm honest. I'll loosely consider that because I stopped working out 2 months ago, and I'm losing my muscles, and I need to do something about it. So I will consider it.
Because look, I think Jankytown, a chubby Jankytown is good, but a fit, skinny Jankytown will be better. We won't be out of breath as much. We could talk a little more.
Do you remember the time, Dave, we met up with Mike at his Muay Thai gym and we did a Muay Thai workout?
Yes, I do.
That was one of the hardest workout. I was in pain. It was bad. It was
tough, man. Yeah. But here's the funny thing, though, is, you know how you're an athletic guy, right? And I'm an athletic guy. Like, we could do things, right? Kicking is one thing I learned I cannot do. Like you're
we learned
like
it in that video. Yeah.
like Mike's hitting the bags and kicking it. You did a pretty good job kicking as well. And then you go to me and I'm like, nah, there's no snap or nothing. I don't even know how to turn. I'm off balance. I'm falling over. My fat ass is just on the floor because I can't kick. I can't. The guy's like, kick up here. I was like, I can't, bro. Like, come on. So like, I was like, oh,
it was pretty pathetic.
And then like they're snapping the bags and like whack. Like you see Joe Rogan kicking those heavy bags, like dude.
Yeah, but that's Joe Rogan. I mean, there's some MMA guys that can't kick as hard as Joe Rogan. That's insane how Joe Rogan kicks like that. We'll never get like that, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. Boxing, I'll consider it, Dave. I will.
All right.
You know what I didn't do this week?
Workout?
Consider even working out. I didn't even consider it, really. In fact, what I did do is I worked on my mental toughness.
Wait,
are you familiar with mental toughness, Dave?
You worked on your own personal mental toughness.
My mental toughness, my mental health. I know Dr. Liptak, Rachel, would be very proud of me. She's a Janksta, and she would be very proud.
Wait, what did you do?
Bettering myself. Well, I can't really get into the specifics of what's really going on in my life right now, but it all kind of started right around Christmas. It was just a lot of, it's those life handing you lemons kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
especially during that season, it hits extra hard, like.
It hits extra hard, right. And instead of, sitting there and sulking and letting depression take over my entire psyche, I try to analyze things for what they were. I try to see, okay, why did it end up this way? Analyze the reasons and how I got to the point that I got to.
And Muggs, real quick, for the Janksters that don't know, you've been open about this. You have been battling like not severe depression, but you've been depressed from time to time, correct?
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely, and not severe. We're like suicidal, but let me tell you something. When you have these days that the depression's really deep, you start thinking dark things, right?
Ooh.
So, yeah, it's these last 3-4 months for me. I mean, a lot of the Janks noticed that I wouldn't be on a lot of podcasts or this, that, and the next thing because I didn't have any sort of motivation to do anything really, and that's a result of the depression.
Yeah.
So it kind of like came to a head right before Christmas, and I was sitting there and I was like, "There's no way I can get into a deeper place now." I mean, it's almost comical at this point of what's happening, right? But also, kind of like a wake up call, right? So you gotta figure out how you got to the point and why, what caused it. But I just want to let you know, and I want to let the Jankses know that I've started to formulate things that would help me analyze it from outsider's perspective. I step outside myself. I look at what happened. And look, I'm not perfect, but also I realize there's also things that are out of my control. I tried my best at certain things, and they didn't work out. Some of it was communication-based, bad communication. Others were just the time and the place and the circumstance. So, and what I've been through up to that point that caused it. So I'm better now. I'm good. I'm working on it. I just don't. I'm seeing a therapist, and I don't want to get to the points where I'm just stuck because that is the worst. And if for anybody out there that feels stuck, they feel because I felt that right before Christmas. I just felt like that was it.
Yeah.
As far as what was going on in my life, I mean there is help. Number one, number two. There's always you'll never stay stuck if you want to look past it. If you want to stay stuck, and I don't want to sound petty, but if you want to stay stuck, you're going to do it, right? You're just it's not going to.
I don't think listen. I don't have depression, but I don't think it's as easy as if you want to stay stuck, you're just gonna stay there because you want to. I think that's what the disease does to you. It just breaks you down.
It does, man.
And it gives you no hope,
it's hard.
Right? Like,
it's hard, man. And I'm really even kind of like, I'm not even really qualified to explain mental health, but I just know that what I was going through what everybody's been going through, the pandemic. I mean, since 2020 and in my personal life, the world, our country, the divided states of America, everything has weighed on me, and you can only control things in your immediate sight. You can't control outside things, and even if you can't control the things that are in front of you, that happens, and you need to find a way to move on, because life goes on, right?
Life does indeed go on, my friend.
I feel that got serious right there.
Hey, look, dude, that's you, man. Like, everyone who knows you knows how you're an emotional person, right? And
what do you mean? I'm not emotional.
But listen, I'd rather take this mug who's self-reflecting and looking at himself than the angry mugs or the flaky mugs or, the mugs that just doesn't care, Even if you are sad and you know why you're sad, but you're still sad, that's, I think, if you recognize it, that's better than lashing out at people or just blowing things off or getting into bad habits. But Muggs, I'm very happy that you're getting help for stuff, and I'm sure over time you'll be okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You know what else we need help on, Dave?
What's that?
Saying I mean, we've already done it, I think, about 10 times this episode.
I heard myself say it twice. And then you came in right after I did. Last episode, you brought us a piece of audio of you and I, mainly me, saying, so many times. And I suggested we should do, every time we say the words, we should put it into a...
Excluding that one.
Excluding that one, yeah. And put $1 into a crutch jar. Like, like a curse jar, but instead it's our crutch jar. And we thought it was a good idea, but like really none of us are going to go back and listen to it every episode to listen for the words, But this is where our man Todd comes in.
Hello, gentlemen. Hello, Dave. Hello, Beer Mug. This is Todd. I'm the one that messaged Dave on Twitter regarding keeping tally of your guys' crutch word to fill up that jar for those beer tabs that you guys are going to do for the next meetup. So anyways, after you guys decided to start doing that, I kept track from that point on for the rest of the episode. And yeah, Dave, you said it 7 more times, not 6 like Beer Mug thought. But then I also caught him saying it 3 more times. So the total for that episode after you guys decided to start doing this is 10. So there's $10 in the jar. I'll keep track of this every week and keep you guys posted on the Jank line, and that way you guys will know how much money you guys are making. Anyways, this is Tallyman Todd out. See ya.
Tallyman Todd!
Wow, Tallyman Todd! I mean, he is a godsend because there was no way I would be able to keep tracks of our you-knows during an episode. There's no way I could have done it without Tallyman Todd. What a godsend he is.
Dude. 10 times we did it right after we talked about it and said, no, we're not going to do this anymore. We're going to be conscious of it. Me, 7, you 3. So let's add those dollars to the crutch jar.
All right.
Cha-ching, cha-ching,
and I think it's only fair. I think it's only fair. I believe the last episode I said that and all the proceeds in the crutch jar would go to like our next meetup. But I think it's only fair if Tallyman Todd we have to pay him for his work, right? So he has to get a little something, a little percentage. We'll cut him off a little something out of that jar, right?
God, no. Right, Dave? No. He gets a beer if he comes to hang out with us. That's what he gets. Dude, this is for all the janksters. All the janksters that have to put up with us going, yeah, man, That's what it's for. Todd, listen, there's this thing called volunteering mugs where you give your time for a cause. This is Tallyman Todd's cause. He wants to keep track of us and be a part of the Janky Town podcast. So here you go. We are going to accept his volunteering, and he's going to keep track for us. And then let's see, the next meetup, we'll see how much money we're going to have in the pot and see how many drinks we could buy with,
Well, for Tallyman Todd's generosity, I see a Chipotle gift card in his future.
Shit, I'll keep count for a Chipotle gift card. Guacamole is expensive, bro.
No, you won't. It's not possible. We can't keep count, Dave. There's no way you and I can keep count while doing an episode. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Yes,
because we don't even know when we say it.
That's true. That's true. Hey, Muggs, what's the longest you've ever waited for something? And I'm talking about anything,
Well, I waited
anything.
about an hour and 10 minutes last night for my poop to come out.
Really, that long?
You're not talking about
problems, dude.
Yeah, it was a bad one.
No, I'm talking about like
Del Taco, and I was backed up. Yeah,
I'm talking about waiting in line, like in lines, like you're at Comic-Con, or you're trying to meet someone, you're trying to get an autograph from a person, you're trying to get a collectible. What's the longest you ever waited?
I don't think I can remember. I think maybe a concert to get indoors to a show, maybe 2 hours. Nothing longer than that. I've waited in line for a ride at a theme park longer than 2 hours. So, but I never kept track. I don't know. I know one time my parents, when I was 11, we went to go to the Rose Parade.
Yeah.
And my parents bought tickets. For some reason, they thought they had to be there hours before the Rose Parade, even with tickets. So we camped out in a parking garage in my parents' Jeep Cherokee, and we were all three of us shoved in the back sleeping, and it was the most uncomfortable thing that I've ever had to wait for. It was like 30 degrees. I think like I couldn't sleep, and I was like kicking in my sleep, and I think I like kicked my mom. It was the worst.
Okay.
And it turned out we didn't even need to wait because we had tickets. Why did we even do that? It was stupid.
You waited for nothing. How about waiting 7 hours to get a popcorn bucket at Disney World?
7 hours?
Yes.
Now, what is this? What does this dragon-shaped popcorn bucket do? Does it?
Yes.
Do
Well,
anything
hold on.
specific?
Listen. Here's what people were waiting for. People were waiting for the Figment popcorn bucket, modeled after a character from Epcot's various iterations of the Journey into Imagination ride, and it was filled with rainbow-colored popcorn, and it's shaped like the dragon. It was $25 at the Pop Eats booth in Epcot. Now, when I saw this, I was like, hey, look, I love Disney. Like, what is that? Because I've never been to Epcot. So I had no idea what it was. But people were waiting in line for 7 hours to buy this bucket. Now, they wouldn't just buy one. They wouldn't just buy two or three. They would buy 6 or 7, and because there was no limit, and then people would resell them. They're on eBay, and guess how much they were selling for on eBay?
I'm gonna go ahead and say $500.
Close. $200.
What?
$200 for these stupid popcorn buckets. Like
With the popcorn in it?
No popcorn included in the resale. But I mean, look, it's a cool looking bucket, but 7 hours for $200. I don't even know if that's worth it.
And now is this Figment thing? I remember it kind of as a kid, but that was more of an Epcot. Is it still that popular to like, or is it something they brought back? Is it like a throwback?
I don't know. It's a new bucket. That's all I know. I know nothing of Figment. I've never heard of them until this story. So if anyone has any further information on Figment, let me know. But man, 7 hours for a bucket, for a $25 popcorn bucket, and I bet the popcorn was shitty. I bet it wasn't even good popcorn.
No, because it's like the pre-made like candied popcorn, right?
Yes, it is. No,
that's terrible.
You know, I don't know, because at Disneyland they're making the popcorn there, so they get you your bucket with popcorn. So maybe they just make it there.
It's popcorn from Disney. That means it's good. But no, I would not wait in line for that or anything for 7 hours unless it was like a car. It had to be. It would have had to be more than $25 value, and I would have to be able to flip it for more than $200 to wait in line for 7 hours.
I know. It's crazy.
You know what's crazier, Dave?
What's that?
The fact that right now on episode 71 of the Jankytown podcast that we are bringing back a legendary segment. Yes, many of our listeners from the Kevin and Bean times on K-Rock will enjoy this. It is, Dave. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Cheers with beer mug.
Yay!
Beer mug, he wants to go where everybody knows his name.
Yeah.
Asking questions with no shame.
What do you...
He's already drunk as a skunk, but people are glad he came.
Oh.
Beer mug wants to go where everyone knows his name.
Wow. Yes, Dave, Cheers with Beer Mug is back right now, and it is a segment that started on the Kevin and Bean show, produced intro-wise by none other than Omar Khan and Mike Catherwood on vocals. I love that intro so much. It is where I go to my local watering hole, Dave, of O'Grady's. All our janksters met up when we had our meetup, and I interview some of the wildest, the wackiest, the drunkest people in the San Fernando Valley at O'Grady's. And this past week, of course, was Betty White's 100th birthday. Now, I asked people there what, if any, they would like to wish Betty White for her 100th birthday, hoping that some of the people would not even know she was dead. So let's find out what the people of O'Grady's had to say. I'm here with JR, I don't know if you knew or not, but it's Betty White's 100th birthday on Monday, so I want to ask you if you want to send her any well wishes.
Well, God bless it. You lived this long, and hope you have a happy birthday. You know, I hope to see it on TV. That'd be great.
So it's Betty White's 100th birthday coming up this Monday. Do you have any wishes for Miss Betty as she will turn a century's year old?
I wish her the best. And I think she will be with us forever. She's a beautiful lady. Gorgeous.
Thank you.
No, Muggs, did you record this after she has passed or prior to?
This was about 3 weeks after she passed away. So those first two guys, I don't think they might not have TVs. They might not get newspapers. But they, I'm pretty sure, did not know she had passed on.
Oh, my God. All right, let's continue.
Is there anything you would like to wish Betty White as she turns 100 in 4 days?
She's not going to turn 100. Okay, I don't know what the is wrong with America today, but Betty White cannot turn 100 in 4 days. She's dead. She's dead. She's dead. A dead person can't turn another age if they're dead.
I'm here with Sherry. Sherry, is there anything you would like to wish Betty White as she turns 100 in 4 days?
I hope she gets wiener. She needs to get laid. She needs to go out with a bang. She needs to have an orgasm before she hits 100. She will die happy.
I'm here with
Barbara.
Barbara, I don't know if you're aware or not, but Betty White turns 100 years old 4 days from now. Is there anything you would like to wish Miss Betty White on her 100th birthday?
I wish I could, but she is gone now.
She go on a trip?
Well, how do I put this lightly? She died.
No, that's got to be a different Betty White, right?
There is no other Betty White other than Betty White. I mean, every golden girl, and then that is it. There's no other Betty White. No, she died. She's gone.
God, I got to get out more.
No, it's actually better than for not knowing. I wish I didn't know either. I really do. I wish I didn't know. If I could give her a wish, dead or not, it would be to continue living.
Sir, can I ask you a question?
I guess.
Is there anything you would like to wish Betty White as she turns 100 in 4 days?
Are you serious?
So there you have it. The patrons of O'Grady's, some of them were in the dark and some of them were on their current events, but either way, there's Cheers with Beer Mug. first ever on episode 71 of Jankytown.
He's already drunk as a skunk, but people are glad he came. Beer Mug wants to go where everyone knows his name.
Wow. Well, that was sure fun. This should be good too, Dave. We have a little pop culture vulture?
Yeah, do we have an intro for this?
I don't know. You tell me, sir.
That's we should discuss this before we start recording. But
yeah, these are the things we should kind of take care of before we hit record. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, but okay, so here's the segment. This segment is where I talk about things that are happening in pop culture, right? Like so much goes on during the week that I am going to talk a little bit about it, and we are just going to move.
Did you hear Betty White died?
And apparently, some people didn't know that. But you know what? Speaking of death, Mugs, 2 people have passed away recently, and the first one being Louie Anderson. Great comedian. Yeah. You know, we've had him on the Kevin and Bean show a couple of times, and he was just the nicest man. It was announced that he died from complications of cancer. Remember when Stryker was filling in for Bean on the Kevin and Bean show, and he couldn't get enough of Louie Anderson when he was on the diving show with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The celebrity high dive?
The celebrity high diving. And Louie talked about that so often, about how much fun he was having on that, and how he would make fun of himself because of how terrible of a diver he was. But Louie was a good guy. So,
do you want to hear my funniest story that involves Louie Anderson, but not really?
Sure.
So, one of the episodes of Family Guy, it was an episode, I think the title was, I don't know. There was a character called Big Fat Paulie. He was like an Italian guy.
Yeah.
And Peter like gets out of a limo and he's trying to look for Big Fat Paulie. So these like people are walking by, like a lady walks by, he's like, "Are you Big Fat Paulie?" And then like she's like, "No." And then another guy walks by and goes, "Are you Big Fat Paulie?" And they're like, "No." And like you don't see off camera, but he turns, he goes, "Are you Big Fat Paulie?" And it turns and it's Louie Anderson. He's like, "I'm Louie Anderson."
Was it really Louie though?
No. I think it was like a voice actor.
Are you sure it wasn't Ralph?
Because like,
it wasn't Ralph Garman.
It could have been Ralph. But no, that's my story involving Louie Anderson, but not really.
Another celebrity who passed away was Meatloaf. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
That song is like 9 minutes. Have you ever heard the original?
No. I mean, I don't think I've ever listened to Meatloaf in my life. So, you know, other than that song, you know, but
I feel like the extended version is just too long. It's like, I heard it on the radio. They played it, and I thought it was on repeat. That's how long it is.
Wow.
I'll tell you. Let's see how long. 7 minutes and 39 seconds.
That's not bad. Come on.
And I mean, I didn't realize it was. If I Do Anything for Love was 7 minutes and 39 seconds.
But isn't it this big opera song? Like it's his big.
It is
just huge, momentous song. That's his. But I can't think of the word.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an opus, but
yes.
But he sure does repeat the chorus a lot. A lot.
And he speeds it up,
I thought it was
right?
repeat. And that's why they probably made a 3.5 minute radio edit of it, because they're like, yeah, we can't play 7 minutes and 30 seconds of "And I Would Do Anything for Love." Great song, though. Great song. Yeah. Meatloaf, great guy, great actor, right, Dave?
Oh, Fight Club, right? What was his name?
Yeah, Robert Paulson, bitch tits, Bob.
His name was Robert Paulson. That's right. Yes,
his name is Robert Paulson.
Yeah, there was no official cause of Meatloaf's death, but TMZ is saying it was COVID and that he was an anti-vaxxer and all this stuff.
You sure his meatloaf wasn't undercooked? All right, I'll take that back.
You got a fly on your head.
Yes, thank you, Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I needed that.
Muggs, imagine you're walking down the beach in Costa Rica and you hear some familiar tunes, and this guy's set up with a little generator, a little laptop, and some speakers. And that guy is Dipole. One of the biggest DJs in the world is playing. He came across this guy playing one of his songs, and he stepped in and said, hey, can I play some music? People spread the word. Everybody started showing up, and Dipole played a 7-hour set on a beach.
Wow, for
of
free.
Costa Rica for free. So,
Good
so
man.
that's got to be one of those weird experiences where you're just like, what the hell is happening here? 7 hours. Now, would you sit and watch Dipole for 7 hours? I love him, but I probably wouldn't.
If I didn't have anything to do for 7 hours, I'm sure I would. But if I, was on my vacation and I had plans, I'd probably catch him for maybe 40 minutes.
Yeah, right? Last week we talked about Coachella and how Rage dropped out. And part of my concern was the fact that, oh no, what about their tour? And my fear is kind of coming true. Rage has postponed the first half of their tour. So they were supposed to start March 31st in El Paso, Texas, right? No, that's all postponed. The first half of the tour. So now they're going to start on July 9th in East Troy, Wisconsin. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, man.
The whole tour you're saying is going to be canceled?
Run the Jewels, Rage Against the Machine, the public service announcement tour. I don't think it's going to happen, dude. I think they're just going to keep postponing and postponing and postponing until this is done. I don't think they're going to go out there and play. I'm just bummed because now there's no LA dates on the books. There's nothing. And now they're not even going to go play, first half. And I think the second half is going to get canceled. Also, in last episode, Muggs, we talked about how excited everyone was for the Coachella announcement, right? The Coachella lineup was excited. When I say that people were excited for a new concert that was released this week, the When We Were Young Festival, my God, I have never seen so much across the social media platform, so much positive feedback, and that is not sarcasm. Everybody I know was excited for this lineup. And who's on this lineup?
Hot Topic must be excited.
Dude, Hot Topic. Oh my God, yes. This is emo heaven, First of all, AFI. You got AFI, right? That's pretty good. The Used, Bring Me the Horizon, Taking Back Sunday, Dashboard Confessional, Avril Lavigne, Thursday, All American Rejects, Mayday Parade, The Main, Bright Eyes, Jimmy Eat World, My Chemical Romance, and they're all opening up for the greatest band in the world, Paramore. Now, there's so much more awesome bands that are playing too. There's 65 bands, Muggs. 65 bands for the When We Were Young
in one day?
Festival. One day, Saturday, October 22nd at the Las Vegas Festival grounds. Pre-sale tickets are on sale now. And how much do you think 65 bands in 11 hours is going to cost you?
$29.99.
Ooh, just a little bit higher, Muggs. Little bit higher.
$31.99.
No. If you want a general admission at Tier 1, it starts at $224. And if you want to get crazy and get VIP, you can start at $500. Now, Muggs, here's where
Is that all?
Yes. Here's where I think we're going to get into a Fire Festival situation.
Uh-oh.
Are you looking at what their plan is? They say they have 65 bands on 3 stages performing from 11 a.m. to midnight. So that's 13 hours for 65 bands. What, everyone going to play like 15, 20 minutes over 3 stages? And the headliners are getting an hour? Is this going to happen? Is this like a bait and switch?
Seen, Dave.
Is this going to be a bait and switch where they're like, at the day of or the week leading up to it, AFI dropped out or MyChem dropped out or Paramore drops out, and then we're stuck with, the Royal and the Serpent. So what is it, the band? Royal and the Serpent or the
Royal and the Serpent.
Yeah. Or the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. They start headlining because everyone's dropping out.
Those guys.
Dude, this is going to be crazy. Are you going to try to go? Las Vegas.
For $200, $500, I'm not going to try to go.
Yeah, well, let's see. I gotta
Good on that one.
I gotta start saving my pennies, and I gotta stop saying because I'm gonna need my money to go to the When We Were Young festival in Vegas to see Paramore.
Well, Dave, when you do go to the When We Were Young festival in October, hopefully people will still be wearing masks. Do you know why that is?
Why, Mugs? For their safety and our safety?
No, Dave, of course not. It's because a study just came out, which is it's pretty ridiculous if you ask me. But it's a study that says face masks make people look more attractive. Study finds. I'm going to go ahead and say yes, thank you, Captain Obvious, because you can only see 1/4 of their face. You don't know what their mouth looks like. You don't know what their teeth look like. You don't know what their nose looks like. You're seeing their eyes. So I didn't need a study to come out and say face masks make people more attractive. That's just they paid people at Cardiff University to find this out, that both men and women were judged to look better with a face covering, obscuring the lower half of their face. Duh. I mean,
but Muggs, like, haven't you walked by a person? You're like, wow, that's an attractive person because. It's like, their eyes are more accented. And like, honestly, Muggs, I've never really looked at people's eyes. And I'm not just talking about women, like even men, you're like, ooh, look, that guy's an attractive feature because of the mask, and it's usually like, does it say what type of mask? Because the surgeon's mask, they're pretty big and cover the nose and everything and like loose. But the cloth masks are like tight, and it looks like I covered my own mouth like right now. So does it say which type of mask like help make people look more attractive? Because I might need to get some new masks.
Well, in fact, Dave, they said that the participants who were wearing a cloth mask were significantly more attractive than the ones with no masks, and the surgical mask, which is just the normal disposable one, made the mask wearer look even better. So you got to get yourself some surgical masks.
What?
Those make you look the best. Yeah,
is it because it makes you look like
best.
A doctor? Is that why?
Yes,
like,
you look official.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Right on. So, hey, look,
that's
man,
still a ridiculous study, though.
If you, Muggs, can you try it out? Can you go out and wear a mask and be like, am I more attractive with or without the mask?
Oh, my God. That would be great.
Do it. Do it, Muggs.
Oh, my God. That's fantastic. I have to do that.
That would be amazing. And let's do our own janky study to see if we're more attractive with the mask on or mask off.
Hey!
Muggs, big game last week where the Rams just destroyed the Arizona Cardinals. They just dominated them. And it was not even close right from the kickoff. And you were there, right?
I was at the game, Dave, and let me tell you when I say this, that nobody had any idea that was going to happen. In the first half, the Arizona Cardinals only had -3 yards. -3 yards in the first.
That's total?
That has to be a record. That is total in the first half. -3 yards in the first half, Dave. Has to be a new record.
Yeah, listen, we all saw the game, and we, like, statistics, who cares? What was it like being in the Rams stadium where it looked like the Rams fans either got a talking to by their friends for selling all their tickets to the Niner fans in the previous game? But because that place, SoFi, was rocking, man. It was so loud. What was it like inside the stadium?
It was deafening. I mean, it finally sounded like a Rams home game up in that piece. It was amazing, Dave. It was so loud. And they interviewed I forgot I think he's a corner for the Rams when he got that pick six.
Oh yeah,
Long Jr.
Yeah,
right. They interviewed him on NFL radio, and he said that was the loudest he had ever heard SoFi ever during the game.
Wow, it was crazy.
It was gnarly.
But you are a man who likes to make the game a little more interesting. And last week we asked your friend Sean McVay to give us some gambling tips. So do you want to see how they panned out? Like, let's see what Sean McVay, what his predictions were and what to gamble on.
It's going to be a close one. I think I would take the Rams +3. I think, or maybe -3.
All right.
Well, I don't know. Who knows?
They're 3.5-point favorites.
Right.
All right. So you say Rams -3.5.
All right. Rams -3.5. Well, that's a good pick, Muggs. So yeah, the Rams definitely covered that 3.5. Sean McVay, in quotes, was 1 for 1. Now, I asked about the over-under. The over-under was 45. And let's see what Sean McVay had to say about that.
Oh, I think it's, with Kyler Murray on the other side, our crazy offense, each team is going to have at least 24 points. I would take the over.
So you took the over 45 points. You remember the score?
The final score, if I was not mistaken, was 33-17. Was that it?
No, it was 34-11. 45 points. You said take the over. Is it a push or do you lose? No, because it's over
push,
under,
baby.
right?
Okay, so if you guess over 45 and it's 45, it's a push. If you guess under 45, it's a push.
Oh,
Anything, if it hits the exact number that you bet on, it's a push. So
wow,
Sean McVay pushed.
He pushed on the over under. Sean McVay, he had a change of heart, which is strange. So let's see what he had to say.
Really? I could take. I said the Rams +3. What I meant to say is I'd take Arizona +4. It's going to be close.
I'm confused now. I'm confused now. You wanted to take the Rams or Arizona? Make up your mind.
You take Arizona +4. That doesn't mean the Rams are going to lose. That just means we're going to beat Arizona by
I think
no more than 4 points.
They beat them by a little more than 4 points, Sean.
Sean might have been getting a little carried away right there. Sean got a little carried away, but he was correct with his original -3.5 and over under 35. I mean, he did pretty well.
He did pretty good. So, Muggs, let me ask you this: since the time this airs, all the NFL playoff games will be over. Who is going to be who do you think is going to be battling to go to the Super Bowl?
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
I think the Bengals are going to upset the Titans.
What?
Very close score. Absolutely. Have you seen Joe Burrow? Have you seen him?
Yes.
Have you seen him?
Have you seen Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry hasn't played in the game for weeks. He's not game ready, man. He could be training all he wants to be in a real football game. Whole different animal. He's not ready. He's not ready.
So you're saying the upset. So Cincinnati Bengals over the Tennessee Titans. All right.
Right. And that game right now is only -3.5. Very close.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
San Francisco at Green Bay. San Francisco has beat Green Bay in the last 3 previous playoff games for the NFC division. They're not going to let it happen this time. They're not going to let Jimmy Garoppolo come into their Lambeau Field and beat them like that, especially when you have Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. It's going to be cold, right? In San Francisco, it gets rainy up there. It gets misty and foggy, but it doesn't get Lambeau Field frozen tundra.
Yeah.
And like I said, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, all day, all night, Green Bay takes that game. So it's going to be Green Bay and Cincinnati in the NFC Division Championship.
No, it's not, because they're Cincinnati's
AFC. It's not, because they are not. They are in opposite. Hold on. No, let me. That was. You got the Rams at Tampa Bay. Now, everybody's all about the GOAT. The GOAT. The GOAT that he just came on. He just came out with his own clothing line, for Christ's sake. It's Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the problem with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is a little guy by the name of Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey
and
the
Von Miller.
Entire Rams team. How can you forget Von Miller? The entire Rams defense is going to sack Tom Brady in this game. I'll go ahead and say 4 times.
All right.
Because if you witnessed what they did to the Buccaneers in the regular season, destroyed them. They got to Tom Brady so quick, so many times. I think they sacked him like 5 times in that game. And Tampa Bay does not have Chris Godwin, which is one of Tom Brady's top targets. They're without Leonard Fournette, although they're saying he's possible, but still not game ready. Not going to be the same. And 2 of Tom Brady's top O-linemen are not playing 100%, and that's the center and I believe the right guard. They are not up to snuff. So I'm going to say the Rams have tremendous momentum after last week beating the Cardinals, spanking the Cardinals.
Listen,
they're going to put an end to Tampa Bay and his Super Bowl rings collection.
Listen, I know Tampa Bay destroyed Philadelphia last week. But if you Philly was putting pressure on TB, TB12, they were putting some pressure and hitting them all throughout the game. So I think I'm with you on this. The Rams are going to take them out. At least I hope they do. Anyways, all right, Muggs. How about the big game of the week? The one everybody's waiting for. The fact that they moved it to prime time. Let's go. What's happening in KC?
This is the hardest one. This is the hardest one to pick. Because you have Josh Allen and you have Patrick Mahomes. 2 insane quarterbacks. They both know how to move out of the pocket. Patrick Mahomes a little bit better, but Josh Allen could throw the ball across his body, going upside down. The dude puts his shoulder and takes out linebackers. I mean, he literally drops his shoulder and just takes out linebackers.
He does.
6'4", it's insane. I mean, Mahomes doesn't do that. Mahomes evades linebackers and corners and safeties, but he will not lay a shoulder into them, maybe once in a while. But from what I saw from Josh Allen in that game where they just destroyed New England.
New England, the Patriots.
They destroyed New England. I think with that momentum, I think momentum is key in these playoffs. I think the Bills go ahead and beat Kansas City in Kansas City. And it's gonna be Joe Burrow facing off with Josh Allen in the AFC Divisional Championship, and you have Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship. And then we'll worry about the rest.
Who goes to the Super Bowl?
Don't say that, Dave. Wait, can we say that on our podcast, or are they going to sue us?
They're not going to come after us. And it's editorial.
Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Super Bowl. I just never been able to say it. Can we say "Let's get ready to rumble" from Michael Buffer?
No, don't say that. He was at the game. He was at the Rams game. Yeah.
Wait, I can't say "Let's get ready to rumble."
No, not like him. No. You know what was funny when he did that? I said, "Oh, look, that guy just made $25,000 for that." That's
unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. I was like, the Rams paid him $25,000 to come out and say, right?
Let's get ready to fumble.
Well, Muggs, those are some bold picks, man. But
Sean McVay had great picks, but I don't know how my picks will do.
Yeah,
I'm guessing. Do you agree with them?
No. I think Cincinnati's going to get blown out. I agree with Buffalo. I think Buffalo momentum is going to take them. So it's going to be Tennessee and Buffalo for the AFC Championship. And then for the NFC, I agree with you that I think the Rams are going to have the number of Tampa Bay. And I think Green Bay coasts to the NFC Championship, and then it's a rematch of the Rams and the Packers in Lambeau Field in the cold, which is going to be awesome. I think football is going to be great these next couple of weeks. But I did come across these surveys from lineups.com, and I want to see if you could get this right. I want to ask you, this survey is the saddest fans in the NFL, and what qualifies saddest fans are NFL fans who are most likely to cry over their team. Can you guess the top 5 NFL fan bases that are most likely to cry over their team?
All right, my first guess would be, because I literally saw a woman crying on TV in Dallas during the Cowboys' loss. It's the Dallas Cowboys.
Ding, 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 ding. Number 1,
Nice.
Muggs. Number one. Yes.
Wow.
All right.
I can quit now.
Yeah, you can. You got number 1. What are the top 5?
After that, I would say any Raiders fan, because those guys are fanatic and they take their team. No?
No.
Wow.
Number 14.
They'll stab. They stab, right?
they stabby stab, yeah. Number 14,
Right.
the Raider fans are most likely to cry. All right, who's your next guess?
Next guess, I gotta say, just because when he was in New England, anything that would happen to him, they'd always whine about, whether it be talking smack about the greatest of all time or the NFL going after him for Deflategate. But I think New England's Patriots fans are crybabies.
Number 2. Way to go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I'm 2 for 3.
Yeah, all right.
3. Wow.
2 more guesses. Go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and say they like to call themselves Bang Bang Niner Gang, but I like to call them Boo Hoo Whiner Gang, and that's the San Francisco 49ers fans.
Number 13, the Niners fans, the Boo Hoo Niner fans.
Right
above the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, one more guess.
Right above the Raiders. Okay, one more guess. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
NFL fans most likely to cry over their team. You got the Dallas Cowboys, who are number 1, and the New England Patriots, who are number 2.
All right. This is a good guess coming up, and it's because I believe that this is the only team in the NFL who is owned by their fans, and that's the Green Bay Packers.
Number 3, Muggs.
Oh, wow.
You
Look at
got
that.
the top 3.
That's great. That's
So-
amazing.
So number 1 you got right was the Cowboys. Number 2,
Right.
the New England Patriots. Number 3, the Green Bay Packers. Number 4, they'll boo you, but they'll also cry. The Philadelphia Eagles fans. And then number 5, the Yinzers.
The Yinzers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers fans are the fifth team most likely to cry over their team. Now, who's least likely to cry? The bottom 3, the Los Angeles Rams at number 30.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're tough.
The Chargers at 31.
Okay.
Probably because there aren't many of them, so they couldn't probably find them for the survey. And then the least fan base that's least likely to cry, the Indianapolis Colts, because I think they just had enough and they don't have anything to cry about. Now, on the flip side, here's another survey. I'll give you 5 chances again to name the top 5 most miserable fans in the NFL. Now, these fan bases are miserable. They're the most miserable fan bases in the NFL.
All right.
Who's your first guess?
Just because they can't hold a quarterback for the life of them. They've never really had a starting quarterback until recently, barely. And that's the Cleveland Browns.
Number 2.
Beautiful. I knew it.
All right.
Next one's got to be just for how terrible they are and the whole controversy they had this year with the coach, not the Raiders, but I'm talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville Jaguars are number 10. So their fan base, I guess they're used to it. They're not that miserable anymore.
Yeah, or they just, the Florida weather kind of just makes you forget about it. All right, so most miserable's gotta be Raiders.
Raiders are number 9. No.
Oh man.
All right, two more guesses.
Good at this one.
2 more guesses. Most miserable fans in the NFL.
The New York Jets. New Yorkers get miserable sometimes, and they get a little hostile.
Number 3.
I knew it.
So you got 2 and 3.
I knew it.
And you have one more guess.
Fantastic. One
more guess. The most miserable fans in the NFL.
Most miserable fans in the NFL gotta be. Let's go ahead and say the Miami Dolphins.
Number 14. Let me give you the top 5. You had 2 and 3 were the Cleveland Browns and Jets. Let me give you the top 5 most miserable fans in the NFL. At number 5, they have a jail in their stadium. The Philadelphia Eagle fans. They're miserable.
Eagle fans, of course.
Yes. Number 4, they're the biggest crybabies in the NFL. The Dallas Cowboy
biggest
fans.
Crybaby. The Cowboy, they're miserable and crybabies.
And crybabies, yes. Number 3 you got, which was the Jets. Number 2, the Cleveland Browns. And then, Muggs, you're going to smack yourself when you realize who's number 1. They are the team that most recently went 0-16 and celebrated their 2 victories this past season.
Of course, the Detroit Lions.
The Detroit Lions, Muggs. They have the most miserable fan base in the NFL. Now, where do your Rams stand? Your fan base are pretty happy. They're at number 28. Good. My Atlanta Falcons are number 15. And by the way, we should be way higher because I know we've been miserable for a long time. We went to the Super Bowl and blew a 28-3 lead. That's, that
was bad. That was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad. That was good. That was good. I think Rams fans are happy because we got a new stadium, and I feel bad for your Falcons, dude. Feel bad. Matty Ice got iced by his team.
I know, dude. They just left him hanging out there to dry, man. Well, those are the most miserable fan bases in the NFL and fans who are most likely to cry over their teams. Big crybaby Cowboy fans. Hey, Muggs, when was the last time you went on a date?
That's funny, Dave. Like 12 years ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, have you ever had a bad date? Like, everybody has a bad date, right? What's the most extreme thing you would do to get out of a date?
I would probably fake diarrhea or vomit somehow and say, I'm really sick. Sorry, gotta go.
Well, this TikToker, Callie, and by the way, that's her name, Callie.
Kelly or Callie?
Callie. Kali. She's a TikToker.
Oh.
And I came across this story, and I just had to bring it to you because here's what Callie did to get out of a date.
It was probably the worst fucking day I've ever been on in my life, okay? And to get out of it, because I was like, I need to leave, I cannot spend any more time here, I went to the toilet, got my friend to send me a fake COVID, positive test, text, and I changed the name to the NHS, and then I went down and I was from the toilet, and I was like, oh my God, look, you're not going to believe it, I've tested positive. And he was like, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, I'm going to have to go home. I calmed down. I'll show you the text that I showed. This is what, I don't know if you can see it because, whatever. Basically, it just says I'm positive, and I changed the name to NHS PCR test. And then after that, I went to see a club with my friend, and I slept with somebody anyway. I literally went to his, slept with him. I didn't even fully sleep with him. I literally slept with him for probably 2 minutes, and then I was like, this is boring. So I was like, I need to go. Now I'm going out for my birthday.
Mugs,
wow.
This girl
so she
faked a positive COVID test to get out of a date.
So she got out, and she was already in that date. The date was already in progress.
Yes, she was having a terrible time, so she had a friend text her that she was positive, and she changed all the information while in the bathroom, and then she came out and showed the guy that she had a positive test, and then went out clubbing and slept with another guy.
I gave her an A for effort, but she, how can I put it? She, if the guy was smart, he would have been like, wait a minute. Now you're finding out you're positive? Should have you done that before the date? What's going on here? Like, I would have caught on to something. So in that case, she's a genius. But in the fact of the, doing that to the poor guy, what a bitch, huh? Am I right?
Dude, how bad was this date that first of all,
I mean,
clever,
look, yeah, I don't know how bad the date was.
Clever to think of this fake positive test because, by the way, you get your results at most random hours of the day. I got results at like 1:30 a.m. once. I got text messages like, your results are ready. I was like, dude, I'm asleep. Like, thanks, man. But like, dude, she did all this and then went out. I think this chick's a G. She's so cool. Because there's no harm. There's no harm or foul or anything. That she's not really positive. So it's not like she willingly was positive and went out on a date. She just got out of this guy. And the guy, there's no hard feelings, right? Because he's like, oh, damn, now I got to go get tested because I was around her. So maybe not. Actually, you're right. Maybe not. Maybe not cool at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you have it, Jankstas. Episode 71 in the books. I hope you enjoy. Dave and I will hopefully be back next week with episode 72. Until then, please gamble responsibly. Am I right, Dave?
You know?
That's another one in the crutch jar.